They found a portal in the woods. The old adage goes, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. But when someone is looking for something nice to say about a place like this, they won't find much. This is the place where some people go to party. There's drinking, dancing, and lots of revelry. But this is one of those places that brings out the worst in people. Fights break out all the time, and sometimes things get real ugly real fast. There have even been reports of people disappearing without a trace, and there are many theories as to why. Some say they just wandered off and are lost forever. Others say they were taken by something else entirely. Something dark and sinister lurks here, so be careful if you ever come across this place. You might not make it out alive. It was a normal day in the life of 4 friends who were bored of the town and decided to venture into the woods behind their houses. It had always been Forbidden's territory, so naturally the teenagers thought it would be a great place to explore. They went deeper and deeper into the forest until they came across a clearing. In the middle of the clearing was a large rock monolith that seemed to be humming with energy. The teenagers felt a strange pull towards the monolith and couldn't help but investigate. As they approached, they could feel the air around them start to vibrate. The trees around them began to sway violently, and the ground beneath their feet shook. The teenagers panicked and ran away from the clearing as fast as they could, but their terror was only just beginning. Over the next few days, each of the teenagers couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They started to see strange lights in the woods at night and heard strange noises that they couldn't explain. One night, they decided to go back to the clearing to see if anything had changed. When they arrived, they found that the rock monolith was now glowing brightly. The teenagers were mesmerized by the sight before them and couldn't help but approach it slowly. As they got closer, they saw that the monolith was actually a portal, a gateway to another world or dimension. They were torn between their fear of the unknown and their curiosity about what lay beyond the portal. After much deliberation, they decided to go through with it and step into the unknown. What they found on the other side of the portal was beyond their wildest imaginations. The world they stepped into was dark and twisted. The sky was filled with strange constellations of stars, and the ground beneath their feet was cold and hard. The friends quickly realized that they were no longer in Kansas. They had traveled to a dangerous and unfamiliar land. As they explored their surroundings, they came across a small village. The buildings were made of dark stone, and the streets were filled with strange symbols and runes. The villagers were humanoid in appearance, but their skin was gray, and their eyes glowed red. The friends tried to communicate with the villagers, but they only received hostile looks and threats in an unknown language. The friends were terrified and knew they had to get out of there as fast as they could. But when they turned to leave, they found that the portal had disappeared. They were trapped in this strange and dangerous world with no way out. The friends were desperate to find a way home. They searched the village for clues, but everything was written in a language they couldn't understand. Just when they were about to give up hope, they found an old book hidden in one of the buildings. The book was filled with strange symbols and diagrams, but the friends could sense that it contained the knowledge they needed. With the help of the book, the friends were able to learn the language of the villagers and discover the secrets of this strange world. They learned that the world they had traveled to was a dark reflection of their own world, a place where evil and darkness thrived. The portal had been a gateway to this dark world, but it was unstable and unpredictable. The friends also learned that the villagers were not hostile, but rather feared and misunderstood. The villagers had been cursed by a powerful sorcerer and were trapped in their dark forms. With this newfound knowledge, the friends were determined to find a way to break the curse and free the villagers. They journeyed to the center of the dark world, where they faced many dangers and challenges along the way. Finally, they confronted the sorcerer who had cursed the villagers. The battle was epic, but in the end, the friends were victorious. With the curse broken, the villagers were freed from their dark forms, and the world began to heal. The friends were hailed as heroes and celebrated by the grateful villagers. But they knew that their destiny lay in their own world. With heavy hearts, they said goodbye to their new friends and stepped back through the portal. When they emerged on the other side, they were greeted by the familiar sights and sounds of their own world. The portal had reappeared, but they knew that it was unstable and could disappear at any moment. As they stood there contemplating what they had just experienced, the portal began to glow. They had only seconds to make their decision. Should they stay in the safety of their own world or return to the dark world to help their new friends? The friends looked at each other, knowing that whatever they chose, their lives would never be the same again. They had seen the darkness that lurked in the world and the pain that it caused, but they had also experienced the joy of friendship and the power of hope. In the end, they decided to return to the dark world. As they stepped back through the portal, they were filled with determination. They knew that the darkness would always be there, but they were ready to face it. Together, they were stronger than the darkness, and they would not rest until they had brought light back to this world. As they vanished into the portal, the woods fell silent. The wind stopped blowing, and the birds stopped singing. The only sound that could be heard was the faint hum of the portal as it shimmered and flickered. The portal was a mystery, a gateway to the unknown that had captured the imaginations of those who had stumbled upon it. But now it was gone, leaving behind only whispers of what had happened here, and the portal has never been seen since. The villagers believe that it is a portal to hell itself, a place where the souls of the damned are sent to suffer for eternity. But others believe that it is a gateway to another dimension, a place where anything is possible. The truth of the matter is, no one knows what lies beyond that portal. No one knows what horrors or wonders await those who dare to step through it. All we know is that the portal exists somewhere in the woods behind our houses, hidden and waiting to be discovered. And if you're brave enough to find it, you may just change your life forever. If you're one of the few who are brave enough to seek out the portal, then I wish you luck. May you find what you're looking for, and may you return home safely. But if you do decide to venture into the woods, please be careful. The portal is a dangerous place, and you never know what you might encounter there. If you hear a strange noise or see a strange light, run away. Don't try to investigate. Just get out of there as fast as you can. And if you do see the portal, don't go near it. It's best to admire it from a distance, because once you cross that threshold, there's no telling what will happen. You may never see your friends or family again. You may never return to your own world again. But if you do decide to go through with it, then I warn you, it's a dangerous game you're playing. The portal is a gateway to hell itself. Once you cross that threshold, there's no turning back. What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories like this, then stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching.